Alright, now you're good.
Okay, so...
Wait, are we all looking at the camera?
Yeah, sure, look at the camera.
That's the number one rule is not to look at directly into the camera.
David, we're not doing like a scene.
I know, I'm just saying.
While Kenneth is talking, but while Kenneth is doing his intro, should we look at the camera?
We're all staring at them as they're staring at us.
Okay, so Kenneth look at the camera, but nobody else do it.
Should we be like discussing with
maybe
each other
David
amongst ourselves?
But like without speaking, like pretending?
No, just do what you want to do.
Okay, we'll just pretend like the camera's not there, like we just...
Yeah, but Kenneth can look at it for this first part.
If you want to talk about positives of the movie, I love that scene where Russell Crowe is giving instructions to Lois Lane. I guess Jor-El is giving instructions to Lois Lane, and he's just doing, dead.
Yeah, that's my favorite scene.
You do that?
Personal favorite scene.
Like everybody liked that scene. How can you hate that scene?
I'm kind of hating that out that you said that.
But everybody likes that scene. How could you hate that?
I don't know, Grant. Did you hate that scene? No.
This whole part's been cut out. Doesn't matter what I say.
Why?
Oh, yeah. I forgot. You're the guy who's editing this video.
It's being cut out too.
Once again, I keep going back to the old ones, and I don't want to seem like one of those guys where it's like it's not like the old one.
No, do it. You know.
But I'm going back to the old one because
you know what was a good movie? Is Spider-Man.
Yeah.
The new one or the old one?
we could get more.
I don't know. I can't decide.
If you guys want to segue into the Amazing Spider-Man, by all means. But the tornado scene. You know that chick at the end who tells the general, I don't know, sir.
That was the worst. Hot. Okay.
No. But Grant, do you know who she was?
No.
Carol Ferris.
Shut up.
No, you look at the casting list and you look at who the character.
Shut up.
I don't know who that is.
She's the female lead from Green Lantern. Oh. So they're implying a larger universe here. They even have like a Wayne Tech satellite that's Zod and.
So that's supposed to be the same character?
Yep.
But it's a different actress.
It's a different actress. Yeah.
It was like a Hispanic actress in this movie, wasn't it?
I don't know, but it said the name said Carrie.
Okay.
The name said Carrie Ferris, but then I was looking into it. They deliberately put that in there. She was supposed to be Carol Ferris.
Okay. Does anyone for a second believe that she's like military or anything? Carol Ferris is again played by a bad actress. So there's anyone even when she was like when they were like in the war room talking and she was just like I was like, who is this, like Captain Question? Like all she did was like keep asking, well, what's gonna happen if that happens? Well, what if that happens? What's that? And the general had to keep explaining things to her. And at the end she was like, I think he's hot. And I was just like, who is this person? Why are they letting her in the war room? Is she like sleeping with someone? Like why? Like she's like the worst soldier ever. Like I don't believe for a second she's like a soldier.
Well, now you know she's Carol Ferris.
I didn't really care for that character until that ending scene. She
was always there.
She had one of the two jokes in the movie.
Yep.
So that was the.
That was a horrible joke.
He's hot. That's the one joke, and then the other joke is. Zod knocks Superman to a sign, and it turns into 0 days since our last accident.
Yeah, that was great.
Oh, that was stupid.
Oh, I thought that was hilarious.
Okay.
It's just like.
Hey, when Zod was gonna like shoot those people with lasers, why didn't Superman just place his hand over Zod's eyes?
He'll get laser all over his hands. You don't want that.
Like, why did he have to kill him? What you could have done is like ripped his eyeballs out, so now he's blind.
Zod said that at the beginning of the fight, the only way he's gonna stop is if one of them dies. That's the only way. Yeah. Superman was forced to kill Zod. Is the only way.
No,
if he doesn't, Zod's gonna keep going and going. Even if Zod got his eyes ripped out, maybe he'll still be able to see just because he's like that much of a superhero. He should have gotten killed, but he did.
I think what he says, my brother pointed out this to me, which is hilarious. He says, "There's only one way this ends, Superman. Either you die or I do."
One way.
Yeah.
But he listed two things.
What kind of choice does Superman has? I know he
in the other movie where he fought General Zod, he outsmarted him and stopped him.
Yeah.
It wasn't about like killing him.
Well,
he was put to a tough decision. You know, he did what he had to do to save the world. Like, I'm sure he doesn't want to kill Zod, but he had to. If he didn't, Zod would kill everybody on Earth.
See, David, I think that could have been.
And
go ahead.
I
think it could have been a really good plot line. You know, it's like, oh, I had to kill someone, but the thing is, before and after sort of thing. This is like going back to my Prometheus review. There wasn't a good setup for the surgery thing, and there wasn't a good aftermath.
Yeah.
This one, like the thing itself, him having to make the choice to kill Zod,
it wasn't
is good.
much of a choice.
We'll see. I thought that was good because it's like, oh, okay, now he has some angst. He has something to deal with. The problem is, before that part, they didn't set up that he doesn't like to kill, and after that part,
well, he won't kill people for bullying and pouring beer on his head, which is again bullying.
Right.
Yeah,
so he doesn't want to kill people for bullying, but
there's a difference between
they're
bullying and murdering.
But they're trying to kill everyone on Earth. Maybe he'll change his mind.
Yeah. But what kind of saying is that
it would have been nice to have like a scene where there was a life or death decision. He was uncomfortable with killing people to save other people.
Yeah.
And then that way you would get the sense that
like a guy with a gun that's about to shoot someone, and Superman has to either kill him or risk the other person dying. Yeah. You know, that would be better as opposed to bullying, because obviously you're not going to kill a bully. I mean, that's, it's ridiculous.
And of course afterward, there's no aftermath.
Yeah, there's this fun carefree
right after he kills Zod, he's like right after he kills Zod. But then like the very next scene is just like hunky dory.
The scream, I thought.
Yeah.
I see you army guys are trying to find where I live. I can't have that.
The scream belongs in the scene where he destroys the Kryptonian scout ship, which has the machine that makes Kryptonian babies on it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because
like, he chose his.
You'll destroy Krypton if you destroy this ship, and he's just like,
he said
fuck
Krypton has a chance. So why would he have
like he's just so dismissive, and then when he kills Zod, he seems so sad about it. It's just like, should you be sad about the death of all Kryptonians?
I think he's just letting out his anger of just the whole ordeal. You know, it's a big ordeal
for
him.
After he kills Zod.
You know, I don't think it's a big deal that Superman has a little bit of emotion after just killing a man. You know, like it's okay.
But he's saying that he didn't have any emotion.
It's not like he's a senseless killing machine, like that Bond that you hate. Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
I mean, like he didn't have any emotion when he killed all the babies, but when he killed Zod, he was like sad.
Okay, maybe he's not pro-life. I don't know. Okay, I
don't know. Only natural births, apparently.
Yeah.
But I lost my train of thought.
But the thing is, maybe he does have some kind of creed where he doesn't want to kill people. But he just became Superman. Maybe he doesn't have that creed yet.
Well, see,
and he gets that later on.
Here, once again,
he's new to this whole superhero thing.
Once again, to support you, director Zack Snyder said that because of what he did to Zod, in the sequel, he's going to be dealing with that fact, and then he resolves to like, okay, I'm not going to kill anyone anymore.
Yeah.
So I don't know I don't know if you think that's a good thing.
It seems that could have been in this movie.
The point is taken that can develop later, but why does he give this anguished scream after killing Zod then?
Because he's not a senseless killing machine. Yeah. You know, he gets emotion after he kills someone.
It's a stupid moment. It's stupid.
Yeah.
Well, not as stupid as sinking into
what's
skulls.
What's he supposed to do? Like high five that chick?
He should have been sad.
Like he was.
Sometimes just being sad and having the movie slow down for a minute is a good thing. Like it's okay. You don't have to be entertaining the audience by something loud like every second. So you don't have to be screaming that you're sad. You can just be looking sad. Like a good actor
if you had
can just look sad and you feel bad for him.
If you weren't just in a fight for your life and you have so much adrenaline running, through you, like, and then he just needs to let it out.
You know what he did right after he screamed? He like made out with Lois Lane.
No, he didn't. He like hugged her for a little while and made out with her later.
Like what he should have done was just hug her. And not make out.
You know what?
And
all right, Grant.
To that point,
okay. Grant, Matt. Since we've been so down on the movie, I want to give David a fair hand. David, I want you to say what you like. Just summarize. It doesn't have to be quick, but summarize what you liked about that movie, why what we think is wrong, and why you like the story. Because you told me it wasn't the action scenes that made you like the movie. You told me it was the story, and I think that was the biggest problem. But tell us what attracted you to this movie. What made you think it was better than all the Marvel ones? Everything like that.
Well, the story I didn't think was that terrible. I mean, there were a few things wrong with it, but you know, you just gotta ignore them. You don't gotta be so nitpicky about every single scene. You know, it's still a good story. You know, it's about a guy finding himself. You know, and finding his higher purpose, and between it raises a lot of questions. You know, between free will and the other thing.
Free will and being forced to do something.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
So I mean, I thought it was fine. When I saw the movie, I thought it was great. People clapped at the end. I didn't think the movie was bad.
People clapped at the end at every showing I've been of this.
I didn't think it was bad until I saw like the Rotten Tomatoes score, and then I talked to you guys, and you're like, "Oh, it was terrible." I was like, "Oh, I guess not everybody liked it." But
at what point does being a critic like impede us just like enjoying a movie? I mean, because I'm saying this not because I don't think Man of Steel doesn't deserve the criticisms it's getting. I think it does, but it's so divided. I mean, you've got, like I said, you've got Kevin Smith who loved the movie, and then you've got other folks and you've got like Rotten Tomatoes is pretty much just focusing on the critics, and IMDb is focusing entirely on the audience, even though there's a lot of cheating going on.
I think you have to not just focus on the story itself, but there's other aspects to a movie than the story. I think it had a great cast. The movie, music, I love the music.
David, I will agree with you on both of those things. I think the cast was perfect. It's just the writing didn't.
Right, I mean, they did the best they could.
But the music,
Hans Zimmer, my favorite composer.
Yeah, I thought the actor that played General Zod was really bad. I thought he was a really bad actor. I didn't like him.
I was fine with.
I really liked the guy that played Superman. He was really good.
Yeah, Henry Cavill.
I did not even know that was his name. Yeah.
It's not Brandon Routh again, and Lois Lane, Amy Adams.
She was good.
I think Amy Adams is a really good actress. It was kind of unusual seeing her as Lois Lane to me.
Yeah.
I guess I'll have to get used to it. It's one of those things where it's like it's.
Yeah, you're so used to Lois Lane.
I think she's a great actress. I like her in a lot of different movies that she's in. I think she's a really good character actress too.
Well, see, they did something neat with the movie, I thought, in terms of the casting, and they got a redhead to play Lois Lane, and they got a black man to play Perry White, and I think those actors were good.
It could have been worse. It could have gone like Emma Stone or something.
Emma Stone. No. Emma Stone. No. Yeah. I mean, she's fine in other things, but not. She wouldn't be a good Lois Lane. But
no.
But yeah, casting was good. I liked Hans Zimmer's music. Anything else, David?
I mean, I thought the visual effects were great. I mean, I just thought overall, I mean, some of the story had a few holes in it, just like any other movie has a few holes in it. But overall, I thought it was great.
Okay.
You know, much better than Avengers, but we won't. I don't want to go into that right now.
Yeah, we'll get into that when we review Avengers.
Yeah.
Strongly disagree.
I know.
So they need to go after Superman because he's got the Codex, but they took a blood sample from him.
Yeah.
In the previous scene.
Right.
And they know that it's in his blood cells because that's what they show in the little diagram.
Right.
So, if you divide whatever billion Kryptonian possible DNA by the drop of blood relative to his whole body, they got like hundreds of thousands or millions of Kryptonian. People in that drop of blood
in the theater.
So
in the theater. Yeah.
Kenneth was like, "Well, they're evil. They want to take it all."
Yeah. You know what Kenneth said? I did say that. I was like, I don't know, David. Last thing, in future movies, would you want Zack Snyder the director, and David Goyer, the writer, to continue on writing for these movies, or do you think that we need?
I would say no. I would say a new creative team would be helpful.
No shaky cam.
Oh yeah, we gotta talk about this. Why was it so shaky? You gotta hold the camera still. It's so I had to. There's so many times where I had to turn my head away and cover my eyes because I was getting a headache from how shaky it is. And it's just it's two characters sitting down talking to each other, and the camera is bouncing up and down. And I'm just holding up my hands. I'm like, hold it still, give me the camera. I'll hold it more still than that. Invest in a tripod. Why is this happening? It shouldn't be that way.
Okay. All right, thank you.
It was horrible.
Yeah, it was pretty.
There was a
horrible.
bit at the very beginning, the opening scene, where it's like on Russell Crowe and then just sort of dips around crazily for a couple of seconds. I'm like, is Krypton being destroyed right now? he's just talking to the capsule.
So let's touch on that. So what do you guys think about this movie being built up into a Justice League? They tried it before with Green Lantern. That was a complete bust. What do you think about continuing on from this continuity and keeping the cast and everything?
I love the cast. I think I'd like to see them in another movie, but I
team.
hope it's done better. And it's not that this movie was 100% horrible the way Green Lantern was. It's not. If you take bits and pieces of it, it's actually done really well. But the movie altogether is just so convoluted, and it's not. It doesn't flow perfectly, and it could have been done much more elegantly.
Well, if we're thinking of it in that way, like it's building up to a Justice League, I mean, it's much better than any of the other movies that are building up to, like, Avengers. Like, say, Captain America was pretty terrible.
Yeah, but Iron Man wasn't.
And they didn't sort of... I mean, Kenneth mentioned references by having the same character appear from a different movie, but those were... I mean, you would never notice that, I don't think. But it's not like this Avengers thing where it's like Samuel L. Jackson is here to recruit you to the Avengers.
Oh, wouldn't that have been great if Samuel L. Jackson showed up at the end? It's like, Henry Cavill, I need you to join us.
The DC analog of whatever.
Yeah, it probably would have been Amanda Waller from Green Lantern.
Yeah, that'd be okay.
You'd have to come up... Oh, they call him Amanda, I guess.
Yeah, just...
Whatever. Fuck it. Samuel Jackson.
Yeah. So they had a minor allusion to Bruce Wayne, the satellite, the little Wayne Enterprises logo.
You guys keep talking. I gotta go to
No, I'm almost done, man.
That's I got you gotta go. Yeah, you gotta go.
All right, we'll pause there.
No, don't pause it.
Let's just finish without it.
You can put an edit
I was
there.
coming for like the final thoughts.
All right, just keep going.
All right. Okay, so include David going to the bathroom.
I'm not.
Yeah, well, it's funny.
Okay, you're not optimistic.
I'm not optimistic about a Justice League movie because Grant and I have argued about this in the past, but Superman and Batman should never exist in the same place at the same time. Because obviously if they did, they would be mortal enemies. Thoughts?
They would kill each other. It would be like Dark Knight.
For another day.
No, I don't know. This fits in with what we're talking about. I mean, you're thinking it would be like Dark Knight Returns, where he would never acknowledge him as a friend and just like use kryptonite on him.
The Justice League has existed in lots of media with, of course, Superman and Batman together, and they have been effective and entertaining, and it has been enjoyable.
Name one of those things.
Justice League television show is
often in the Justice League television show they'll do an arc where Batman does something cool. Like I think one time he got captured on a space station. He like outsmarted the Joker and everybody, even though he was like in chains or something. It was a nice little Batman thing. He outsmarts everybody because that's what Batman does. But they sort of
does that a lot. Just like he outsmarts them. Yeah.
But they just sort of like isolated him the whole time. It's like Batman dialoguing with all these random villains and like. Superman and everyone else are just
what happens in the show is that Batman never officially joins the Justice League. He's just kind of like called upon like to be sort of like a part-time member.
That's a strategy for dealing with the fact that Batman and Superman wouldn't get along.
Yeah, so I mean he's there in almost every episode, but they always say he's not always a member. So it's like he likes to work alone. He isolates himself.
And they're not doing the new Batman in the. In the Justice League movie, right?
See, they're not sure about that. They keep saying no. They keep saying Christian Bale will not be in this, but a lot of people are speculating since it's Christopher Nolan. Christian Bale said that if Christopher Nolan is involved, I would, and he asked me, then I would be Batman.
Don't do it, Christopher Nolan.
Well, David,
don't do it, Christopher Nolan.
David, what do you think about building this movie up into a Justice League?
I don't think it's a good idea.
You don't think so? Oh, okay.
Well, they only need Superman. They don't really need anybody else. Like, what's Batman gonna do in comparison to Superman? He's like Hawkeye, you know, in the event. Like, he's not gonna do anything. Just have Superman movies. I don't think you got to make a movie about every single superhero there is. Like, there's just too many superhero movies already. Like, relax with them, okay? Like, we got Superman, let it, you know.
I don't think you've seen enough like Justice League things in order to make a call about that.
Yeah,
there's a lot of situations the Justice League get into where Superman can't do it by himself.
Well,
that's
Grant,
why he calls upon his super friends.
Well, Grant,
just kind of big gay.
I'm gonna do what I always do and be in the middle on this one. I don't agree that a Justice League movie or a World's Finest movie, you know, just Batman and Superman, can't be done. But
I would be surprised.
Yeah, I would be surprised too. Well, if they pull it off, imagine how amazing that would be. But you know, I'm thinking like Superman first. I mean, if they were to do it, they do Superman first, then they do a World's Finest or a Trinity and incorporate Wonder Woman, and then do Justice League. I think that'd be a good, smart way to go.
Yeah.
I feel like if they did Justice League, it's just gonna turn out like Fantastic Four. You know, it's gonna be like, you know, kind of far fetched and just.
Yeah.
I don't think it should be done.